What's up everybody, Ben here. Welcome to Tactical Fellowship, and I believe with my whole heart that it's not mine till it's customized. So I took a P320 and I broke it down and I brought it back into something that I like to call the mess. I never intended on building a gun like this. I never thought I wanted a gun like this. So let me guide you through what happened and what I put on here. And it really kind of starts with science. The compensator is just an ingenious thing. It's leveraging the energy that is coming out the barrel, shooting it upwards in order to push down the gun to keep it shooting flatter. I wanted higher velocity, higher power rounds. I've been making mouse loads for USPSA, but lately with all the unrest, I started thinking, I don't want mouse loads laying around. I want full power loads all the time, always. But I also want to shoot competition well. And so the compensator started becoming something I was looking at. Parker Mountain Machine was doing some really neat things. Everything was sold out, always, and forever whenever I'd go there. But they had these Gen 1 comps that were still available for the specific barrel that I had. I have a Faxon threaded in here. This is the compact. And they had a Gen 1 comp for the Faxon compact in stock for like $100. And so I bought it. I'm like, what do I got to lose? Installed it and absolutely love what it does for the shooting of this gun. Another item worth mentioning is that this comp is a semi-permanent install. It's red Loctited on this thing, and so if you want to clean it, you're just going to kind of kick the barrel back like this, and then just run your bore snake through. I'm just using a stock 9mm recoil spring. I'm shooting 115 grain, and it's going about 1300 to 1330 FPS. The ejection pattern is about 4 or 5 feet ejection away, so it cycled the gun with factory ammo, and that's good to know.
Clear, hammer down, holster.
Which is also partly why my personal opinion is I think that a single port compensator is a good thing, because it's going to give you the most flexibility with ammo used in the gun to actually cycle the gun. I also actually really like with the compensator, it keeps all the schmutzy off my tactical light here, my flashlight. I really appreciate that, because when you want your light to work, the last thing you want is schmutzy all over your light, diffusing your light, so instead of 1,000 lumen light, you have like a 30. The other thing is the red dot. Red dots are new to me. I'm not a red dot man. I've shot irons my entire life. It really comes down to, I think, the single focal plane shooting. So with the red dot, it's just that dot, that single focal plane. So instead of gotcha, it's gotcha. And it works for me. The only thing that I am still training is the presentation of the gun to have the red dot where I want it to be when I present. Where's the dot? But the red dot is freaking awesome, and I think it's probably the future. You might be wondering about the slide cuts in color. This is Jaegerworks. I like what they do. They also did the optic cut as well, and they did a fantastic job with that. Fits nice and tight. This is FDE with black battle worn on the slide. The sights are Trigicons. They pop pretty well, and you might be wondering why I didn't get suppressor height sights on there. And the reasoning is simple. I don't actually want more stuff cluttering up the glass of the RMR. I am fine with lower profile sights on this. It is absolutely not an issue for me, and that's what I am preferring. This tungsten infused, this is the TXG by SIG, the tungsten infused one. It is freaking cool. It is heavier than heavy. Really like that. And you add that X300 UB on there, and it really has a good amount of heft. Like, it feels like a 1911 type of heft. Yet again, another thing to keep it a little bit more steady and less likely to rise and lift in my hand as I'm shooting. I put a little bit of skate tape right here. This is just really an indexing point for me. When I push out, my support hand thumb kind of finds that spot and is able to kind of to stick on it, and I like that. I also have some grip tape on the bottom here. It's not kind to my fingers, but it's another traction point. I like having less slide on the bottom here, and this does work. On the bottom also, this Agency Arms mag wheel. This is a little bit more svelte than your typical SIG mag wheel that goes a little bit further, and it really does provide everything that I need for me to send a mag home with a little bit of help if I miss. I really like it. I think the aesthetics are strong. I really like the blue screw on the back. I think that's fantastic. I spent money on getting this Duracoated, the frame. This is by Blown Deadline, and they're a multi-cam black. I think it looks great, and it was a long winter, and I figured I have some time. Why not embellish the frame a little bit? And I really, really like how this turns out. The black multicam, it's a really nice look. It really helps make this Agency Arms trigger in FDE pop as well. And I have a video on this. It is a nice upgrade to the 320 system. It has that blade safety. I'm fine with blade safeties, and I enjoy knowing that my 320 has just one more mechanism getting in the way of this thing going off. You can see the gold right here. This is actually their SIG Custom Works FCU. I bought the FCU as a standalone before things went nuts and it got hard to find and prices just went through the roof. It worked for me. I have a video on this as well if you want to check that out, really kind of going through the pros and cons of the FCU. All right, so let's dive into some things that I'm not so keen about. But first, go ahead and stick your thumb up YouTube's anti-gun loving hole by liking and subscribing. And why not find me at tacticalfellowship.com, MeWe, Rumble, and Parler for when they cancel us all. So I need to mention the color of the comp. This FDE, it's like khaki pants. But here's the thing, like, had you not done this, I probably wouldn't have named this thing the Mess. The gun rattles a bit though. Man, at speed, it's gonna be making all kinds of racket, dude. Kind of like an old car. The base plate for the Trijicon RMR, when I got it from Jagerworks, it came just like plain Jane metal, and I didn't know what to do with that. Like, am I supposed to like spray paint that black? What are you guys doing with that? Like, are you just leaving it the metal color it is and just putting it on there? Or do you Duracoat it? Does it matter? So that's kind of where I'm at with that. To Taco Bet. The struggle is going to be real for you to find a holster for this thing. It may dissuade you from doing something like this. But I tell you what, if you've got a threaded Faxon or there's another like option that PMM has some of these Gen 1s for, man, why in the world not? I think it's a great way to use the threaded feature on your barrel for something that's going to be pretty productive. And the compensator is a really nice design. It's captured on the barrel, so even if it loosens up, the guide rod actually goes into it as it recoils to keep it from torquing itself off. It's a really cool feature. I do like how it takes a compact frame and it just extends it just slightly, so I really am a fan of the look. And that is the nuts and bolts of the Mess. It's really fun to shoot this thing with a comp and dot. So I'll be shooting open class with this. I mean, it's not necessarily an open gun, but and I'll keep you posted how this thing does shooting basically equivalent of plus P loads. Life's too short to shoot guns that you don't want to shoot, and so I kind of felt like let's just go for it on this one and just go the full 9 yards, and that's what I did. And the Mess is what I ended up with, so I hope it has a long and glorious life of shooting awesome A zones and gongs and brings me victory. All right, friends, that's all I got. Really hope you enjoyed taking that tour of the Mess with me, and perhaps it provides some inspiration on what to do and what to avoid on your own customization project. All right, as always, ride fast, shoot straight, and we will see you next time. It's an ugly blaster on purpose.